You're running. Sirens scream behind you. Searchlights sweep across the trees, cutting white lines through the dark. Dogs are getting closer with every second. They're barking sharper, more frantic, closer than it was 30 seconds ago. Your lungs burn. Your legs don't feel like yours anymore. Just 1 hour ago, you were locked inside one of the most secure prisons in the country. Now, you're the most wanted person alive. But to understand how you ended up here, we have to go back to your first day behind bars. Level 1. The gates close. The gates slam shut behind you, and the sound is nothing like you imagined. It's not dramatic, it's mechanical, final. A sound that doesn't care who you were before it. Reality sinks in slowly, then all at once. The concrete under your feet, the fluorescent lights that never turn off completely. The smell, bleach over something else, something the bleach never fully covers. Every sound in this place reminds you that your old life is gone. Footsteps on metal stairs, keys jingling on a guard's belt, a door somewhere closing with a finality that makes your chest tighten. You watch the other inmates. Some of them count days. You see a man scratching lines into the wall beside his bunk, one for every morning he's woken up in this place. Others have stopped counting entirely. Their eyes have a flatness to them, like the counting itself became too painful, so they simply let it go. An older man in the cell across from you catches you staring at the wall of scratches. He doesn't smile, he just says it, low and even, like he said it 100 times before. The walls don't break people. Time does. You don't understand what he means yet. You will. That night, lying on a mattress that feels like a rumor of comfort, you realize almost everyone in this place watches the prison differently. Some see walls, permanent and absolute. Others, you're starting to notice, see something else entirely. Possibilities, cracks, gaps in the routine that most people are too broken to look for. You don't know it yet, but you're about to become one of the people who looks. Level 2. A prison has a pulse. Weeks pass and you begin noticing something strange. Every day feels identical. Same wake-up call, same walk to the mess hall, same hour in the yard, same rotation of faces, same guard shift changes at the same minute every single day. Like clockwork, nobody built on purpose, but everybody obeys. You start to see how people adapt. Some throw themselves into routine, treating every repetition like a small victory. Some build friendships that feel more like alliances. You get the sense that in here, friendship and survival are the same word. Others build rivalries just to have something to feel strongly about. Rumors move through the block faster than any official announcement, and you learn quickly that the rumor mill is its own kind of currency. An older inmate, someone the other men seem to quietly respect, watches you, paying attention to all of it. He nods slowly, like he approves. Every prison has a heartbeat, he tells you. Ignore it, and it'll swallow you. Learn it, and it'll tell you things the guards never will. You start listening, really listening, to footsteps, to shift changes, to the small gaps in supervision that happen for exactly 90 seconds between one guard leaving a post and another arriving. One quiet conversation changes everything. It happens in the yard, low voice, no eye contact, the way everything important in this place gets said. Someone tells you, flatly, like it's obvious, freedom isn't impossible. People have done it before. Not many, but some. You don't sleep that night. Not because you're afraid, because for the first time since the gates closed, something in your chest feels like it's waking back up. Level 3. The man who still believes. His name is Elias. You've seen him around, older, quiet, the kind of man other inmates give space to without being told to. But it isn't until a rain-soaked afternoon in the yard, both of you pressed under the same narrow overhang, that you actually talk. Unlike everyone else in this place, Elias still talks about life beyond these walls. Not in a wishful, broken way, in a way that unsettles you at first, like he knows something you don't. At first, you think he's delusional. Nobody talks about after in here. After is a word that gets you laughed at, or worse, pitied.
but Elias says it like a fact, not a dream. He talks about a specific stretch of road outside the northern fence. He talks about the shift pattern of a guard named Dobrik who's been slacking on his eastern perimeter walk for the last 3 months. He talks like a man who has been quietly building something for years. Over time, without either of you deciding it out loud, he becomes your mentor. He teaches you to read the block, who's trustworthy, who's an informant waiting to happen, which guards can be predicted and which ones can't. He teaches you patience, which is the one thing this place tries hardest to take from you. One night, sitting in the dark after lights out, he asks you a question that changes everything. If the chance came, he says, voice barely higher than a whisper, would you run? You don't answer right away, and your silence tells him everything he needs to know. Level 4, a promise. The two of you become inseparable after that, not obvious about it. Nothing in this place stays hidden if you're obvious, but inseparable in the way that matters. Meals, yard time, the rare stretches of unsupervised minutes in the workshop. You make a promise to each other, quiet and unshakable. If freedom ever comes, really comes, you leave together. Not one man saving himself, both or neither. Other inmates start to notice. A few laugh behind your backs, calling it a fantasy, calling Elias an old man chasing a dream he'll never live to see. You hear the whispers, you ignore them, because the dream is the only thing keeping either of you alive. You've seen what happens to men who stop believing anything is coming, the flat eyes, the wall of scratches, the slow surrender. You refuse to become that. Elias refuses to let you become that. You start preparing in small, invisible ways, memorizing shift patterns, noting which sections of fence sag slightly more than others, learning which nights the storage yard goes unchecked. None of it means anything alone, but together, piece by piece, it starts to look like something close to a plan. Then, without warning, without a plan of your own making, the impossible opportunity appears. Level 5. The night when everything falls apart. It starts with an alarm that isn't a drill. Then a fight breaks out 2 blocks over, real, violent, the kind that pulls every available guard towards it. Then the lights flicker, stutter, and for 4 full seconds go completely dark. A sudden crisis throws the entire prison into confusion. Alarms overlapping alarms, radios screaming static and orders nobody can follow fast enough. Everyone is running, inmates, guards, everyone caught in the same wave of chaos. Nobody knows what's actually happening, and in that not knowing, there's an opening. You realize, with a jolt that steals the air from your chest, that this might be the only chance you'll ever get. Not next month, not next year, now, in these next few minutes, or never. You look at Elias through the dark and the smoke and the noise. He nods once. Without saying a word, without a plan beyond the one you've spent months quietly building in your heads, both of you run.
Level 6. Freedom isn't free. You make it beyond the outer wall faster than you thought possible, through a gap in the fence Elias identified weeks ago, across a field you've only ever seen from a distance through a barred window. For the first time in years, there is nothing above you except open sky, no ceiling, no fluorescent lights, just stars and cold air and your own ragged breathing. You almost laugh, a real laugh, the kind you forgot you had in you. Then the sirens begin behind you, rising over the trees, and their laugh dies in your throat. Freedom, you're learning already, lasts only minutes before it has to be defended. Level 7. The chase. You and Elias run until your legs stop feeling like your own. Trees blur past, branches tear at your clothes. Somewhere behind you, dogs pick up the trail, and their barking gets sharper every time you glance back. Police close in faster than either of you expected. Search patterns you didn't account for. A helicopter you didn't know was already in the air. Every second matters now in a way that makes your heart slam against your ribs. Then something goes terribly wrong. Level 8. One choice.
You reach a narrow break in the tree line, a gap you have to cross one at a time, exposed for just a few seconds, but a few seconds is all it takes for a spotlight to find you. Only one of you can make it across before the officers close in from the ridge. Elias looks back at you, and in that half-second of eye contact, he sees your hesitation, the way your body is already deciding to hang back, to argue, to find another way that doesn't exist. Without waiting for you to talk him out of it, he deliberately steps into the open. He shouts, loud, sharp, on purpose, drawing every flashlight and every officer's attention straight onto himself. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's giving you the chance to escape. You freeze. For one full second, you consider turning back, closing the distance, pulling him with you, no matter the cost. Instead, with his voice still echoing behind you, you keep running. Level 9, the price. Hours later, hidden in the crawl space of an abandoned barn, shaking from cold and from something worse than cold, you hear it. A radio left on by whoever used to live here, playing a local news update. Elias didn't survive. The report calls him a dangerous fugitive, shot while resisting capture. Clean, simple, a sentence that erases everything he actually was. But you know another truth, one that will live in you longer than any prison sentence ever could. He died because he chose to save you, and because, in the second that mattered most, you let him. Every sunrise after that reminds you of the man who should have been standing beside you, watching it too. Level 10, freedom. Years pass. Nobody recognizes your face anymore. You have a new identity, a new home, a life that looks, from the outside, like it belongs to someone who was never inside those walls at all. But every time someone asks if you have family, there's a half-second pause before you answer, and in that pause, you think of Elias. Every quiet night, in the space right before sleep takes you, you hear his final words, steady and certain, exactly the way he said them. Keep running. You escaped prison, but you never escaped the guilt, because freedom came at the cost of the only person who ever believed you deserved it.